thing which is the deity, like the meaning of the deity. You are differentiating between the Christ and Ramakrishna. The meaning. What is the meaning?
What they represent to you, what they mean to you.
How does that differ then? Then it's your perception.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, I mean, what is your Ishta Devata? I mean, when I mean, you probably were born in a family where you were introduced to an Ishta Devata. Who was that? Like Krishna, Rama,
Shiva.
Shiva. All right, Shiva. So, what is the meaning of Shiva to you?
There is the meaning in the sense like Shiva is in general like Shiva.
What that? Yeah.
He burns out like everything.
What does Shiva mean to you? What does Shiva represent to you?
Represents in the sense like Shiva is a god.
No, Jesus, the God.
No, but you were telling that like when there is a difference in the meaning between like how you take Jesus or Ramakrishna or anyone from that. So you were telling like when you were mentioning about like you were.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, the form or the name. What matters is what is behind, the principle behind that symbol. So it doesn't matter. So you have to connect to the meaning or what it represents as a principle.
So how does that principle differ?
It doesn't differ. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
It's the same. The same. Somebody calls it Jesus. Somebody calls it Shiva. And you are used to connect with that principle or meaning through the form of Shiva, dancing Shiva or whatever, you know. But it's the same meaning.
So you were able to connect with Sri Ramakrishna?
Of course.
More, I mean, to the other forms like Jesus, you were able to connect with Sri Ramakrishna more? Something like that.
Well, the moment I decide to embrace Ramakrishna as my teacher, and I, in Indian tradition, you take Diksha.
Yeah.
So once you do that, you have to understand what it means. And then once you decide to start digging in a well, no matter what, you have to do that job.
Yeah.
Don't start this well and then start something else and then go here and there. No, you have to stick to the one you chose. Because that was your choice. You decided to accept initiation in a specific tradition under a certain lineage. And if Sri Ramakrishna is your teacher, it's the greatest teacher I've ever encountered in my life. So, not because it's my teacher.
It's like even though like Sri Ramakrishna is my Ishta, and that was given to be and handed to me by my guru as well. But my parents are very Christian, very our way or the highway. You're all going to hell. We're all devil worshippers.
Yeah.
And so I asked Swami and said, look, I don't want to lie, but at the same time, they're going to freak out if they see pictures of Sri Ramakrishna and all that. And so, and I said, look, I don't know what Todd just told them they're saints. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. And so, I mean, I could worship the image of Jesus just the same as Sri Ramakrishna because it's the same being.
Right. Yeah, that's a great, not just understanding. I mean, that if you have that feeling, it's wonderful. I mean, honestly, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but that you're very fortunate if you have it. Some people need to work for that.
Yeah.
So I understand that you need to, but you also need to understand that you need to work for it. You have to engage and sort of, as I mentioned before, fall in love with your Ishta Devata, the one you chose. Otherwise, why are you doing this?
So when the folks are around, I put up the picture of Jesus. When they leave, I put Sri Ramakrishna.
You're a grown-up man. Who can tell you anything right now?
Actually, they're all right there. It's just that the Swami told me, like, okay, you put them in this order.
Right.
And so I follow the order that he told me to put them. So.
I love it that you are Swami. Yeah, it's very good.
But and I asked them, well, when they come, yeah, you can. He's like, do what you gotta do.
Well, oh, oh, Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Bhavatu, Sahaviryam Karavavahe, Tejasvina Vadeta Mastuma Vidushavai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, may God protect us, may God nourish us, may we work together with energy and vigor. May our study today be enlightening and not give rise to misunderstanding. Om, peace, peace. Welcome everyone to the second half of this Vedantic meditation retreat. Hello there. So far, everything good?
Great. Namaste, Swamiji. I'm in Denver, Colorado.
Oh, nice. Well, thank you. Yes, so wonderful to see you over the camera.
Yes.
Tiny, tiny. Trust me, this is, I see you, this is a smartphone. So I can barely see your face without my glasses, but I know you are there. So I'm not going to give you a way to ask questions right now because I really want to dive into a specific topic. But I hope there are no questions and there are no doubts about what we spoke before, what we talked about in the first half. It's clear that there is a need to understand that that peace, satisfaction, fulfillment, we will never find it outside in the external world, and that we need to find it within us, in our own nature. We also talked about meditation as a means, dhyana as a means to achieve that calmness and tranquility we need to get the mind we need to understand the teachings of the scriptures, to connect with my real nature. We also talked about the need of embracing an object of meditation, and when it comes to the object of meditation, we talked about that. It is what you want to become. You become what you meditate upon. Therefore, if you want to become something, you probably want to become the highest you can conceive. Right? And we all agree that's the highest thought we can conceive with our human minds is the concept of God. Call it Ishvara or Brahman. Then we talked about the way to commune with our concept of God. Okay, God is a circle whose circumference is nowhere and whose center is everywhere. And if it is everywhere, it is in you, in you, in you, in you, in me. We are also a circle whose circumference is everywhere. Unfortunately, we take the center to be our own body. So the goal is to expand in understanding, and we have to do something. That is to be done is called discipline and sadhana. Meditation is one of those sadhanas. It's a mental activity by which, understanding the workings of the mind, you will give a seat to your mind so that it can connect with your own wisdom, your own guru within you. Find God, we say the center is everywhere. So we need to come back to that center. Is it clear? Then we talked about two ways of communing with that God, through meditation or prayer. Anything that where we indulge in prayer, communication, where you go like, please, 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 kind of approach, always when we are in trouble. We resort to God when we are in trouble, when we want something that, no matter how much we try, we kind of need that grace. But that's not how it works. We have to relate to God all the time. all the time. So in order to do that all the time, we need to educate our minds. Give our minds the proper direction. And just like in any discipline in your life, practice makes you perfect. So we need to remove that hypnotism, that layer of ignorance before our eyes. For that, we have to work. Is it clear? Because without discipline, you just input, output. If there is no commitment, you won't see the light. So it is important. My goal here is that I want you to understand the need to engage in a spiritual practices, particularly in the form of dhyana or meditation. Because if you truly want to be spiritual, like it's not about what you wear or the bindu or the sari or or the robes. It's about what you feel and how you feel. If you truly want to be spiritual, you have to transform your personality and your character. Therefore, the center is not going to be myself. You start working for a higher center. And you start within you, mental activity, your mind. So then we engage in this Vedantic meditation where we sort of connected. I guided you through a way to get hold of our minds, using our imagination, using our senses, also using words with meaning. So we said that we cornered our mind and gone nowhere. You gotta be sitting there. I am the boss. Are you okay with that? Who is the boss? The witness, the observer, who you truly are, the one who observes the changes, not just externally, but within your own being, within your mind. You have the faculty to make that decision. You have to use it. Otherwise, we are no better than animals. We can be even worse than animals. Therefore, we have to honor this human body and our intellect. It's very unique to us, so that we can come face to face with our, what we call God. Parlance in this, we use the word realization. I was talking to some of you yesterday. Turn something into a reality. We want that God to be our daily reality, 24/7, non-stop. Okay? Prashantatma pikakabhir brahmachari vratestitaha manasanyamya machitto yukta asita matparaha. Verse number 14, chapter number 6. With the heart serene and fearless. With the heart serene and fearless. What is the heart? Prashanta Atma. Atma is not that Brahman. Atma here means the mind, the heart. We call it mind. Prashanta. Atma, with the mind. Serene, calm, and fearless. firm in the vow of brahmacharya, firm in the vow of commitment. And I always say, this is your call, this is your decision. You have to be serious. You're adults. You have to understand the importance of committing to this way of life, committing to this center. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But it's within you and it's everywhere. The vow of brahmacharya. Brahmacharya means here that you are going to make it a point to pay attention to your thoughts. Pay attention where your mind wants to go and redirect. With the mind controlled, the mind tranquil, established in one's own commitment. Most beautiful part. Here Krishna says, sit. Sit. Thinking of me. Thinking of me. Having me as the ultimate goal. Having me as the ultimate goal. With the mind controlled, ever thinking of me, let him sit in yoga. Yoga here means we are going to be in charge, not your mind. Yoga here means you're going to struggle to come back, come back. Thinking of me, having me as the supreme goal, he says. Vedantic meditation. Dhyanam is uninterrupted flow of thought towards one single object. The object is given here. Mind serene. Can my mind be serene if I don't care about anything in my life? I'm not disciplined and I don't care about values. You have to be coherent. Your life also should also reflect that Brahman is in everything, that your own being is in your neighbor, in your friend, in your enemy. Because if your mind is not at rest, if your mind is not serene, if there is some kind of unfinished business within you, resentment, hate, it's going to be difficult.
So having thoughts of resentment or hate, how do we deal with it?
Work on it. Confront them. Sit with them. You cannot have that. Get over it. Accept it. Or make a phone call, hey, I'm sorry. To be clean, your heart should be clean. Everybody is your own. Not just in the books that Holy Mother says. You have to practice to show that. You don't have to go outside and start kissing everybody. No? Telling you, oh, I love you, you're my love. Feel it. So no unfinished business in your heart. Manasanyamya. You're going to withdraw the mind. Matchitto matparaha. Going to be thinking on me and taking me as the ultimate object of your life. Nails and teeth. You're going to do anything to make sure that you remember that. Do you understand why religion now? They're all means, rituals, to be reminded of this. Everything we do, the way we dress, we leave the shoes outside, all these customs are meant for something. So that we give our mind the right center. We are constantly engaged in the thought of the ultimate. I didn't forget your question. We are not alone here. Yes, we came alone into these bodies with nothing, no gadgets. And that's exactly the way we want to go. But we are not the center. Don't be deceived. It's not about me or I. It's about all of us. My neighbor, the town, the neighborhood, the city, the state, the country, the whole America, Europe, including everybody, the whole world. Start generalizing. It's about all of us. But Swami, look at it to see what's going on. That's different. You first start with yourself. Transformation comes here first. You commit to that, you will make an impact in your surroundings. That would start. Being the one whose mind is tranquil, who is free from fear, established in one's commitment. Let that person sit thinking of me, having me as the supreme goal. Vedantic meditation. But Swami Brahman, Vedantic meditation. This line can be given different interpretation. Some say, no, it's Krishna. Krishna is the Lord. Say, well, Krishna in reality means Rama. Whatever it means to you, you have to understand the essence and the principle behind. In Vedantic language, we generalize up to the highest. What does it say? You gotta be without fear, fearless. When you, in your daily life, you want to make sure you are secure, you are safe, right? So you go like a cat, you know? Can I go? We all want to preserve our bodies, our life. Now, that happens in the outside. What happens when you go within? Fear not, he says. I bet you don't fear when you want to fall asleep. You fall asleep, I'm going to sleep. And you are quite all right with that. You fear? Oh, the crocodiles. Go ahead. In the same way, when you go within, fear not. Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda, what would you do if you were sitting at the edge of a pot filled with the ocean of eternity, of eternal life, the nectar, Amrita? What would you do? You remember Swamiji's reply? I would sit at the edge and start sipping. I said, you fool. It's the ocean of immortality. Throw yourself into that ocean. Fear not. It's the ocean of immortality. You cannot die. That is the approach. It's our own place. It's our own being. It's the safest place. The only thing you can truly and really trust. We want to trust human beings, but we know our experience. It's not very reliable. So you will be surprised. But your own being, you're not. And resolve, attend to merge in me. I am your object of meditation. Who is me? Ishvara, Parameshwara, Brahman, Paramatman. Same. The difference? Well, Ishvara more appealing to me because, I was born in India, so I was introduced to Shiva, and therefore Shiva is Parameshwara or Vishnu. I was introduced to God through Jesus, so Jesus is my Ishvara. Jesus is my God. I don't know anything, but Jesus is there. The truth is, we don't know him. We don't know anything about God. But can we deny something that is behind all this? behind our existence, behind our reality. We deny that there must be some creator or something, just like it was made in Korea. There is intelligence behind, somebody put it together, somebody's responsible for that, right? So I don't know who God is, but somebody must be responsible for all these laws, for this trap that we find ourselves into. How is it that we were born and then we die? How is it that in helping others, I help myself? In giving, I receive. Who is behind these laws? I know nothing about it, but I can't deny them. There is some kind of consciousness that is behind all these, to which we have to resort. We have to connect. We have to sync. You want to call it the universe? Fine. I like to call it the totality. The all in all, the one without a second. You gotta be. Fear not. When do you fear? When you experience duality. You experience duality and you know. But if you experience the one without a second, there is no fear. So the source of fear is the lack of analysis. About this reality. Unity in diversity. Now, Swami, but what if I go really deep into this? What about me? What if I lose myself, forget myself? Be bold, dare to do it. What about my ego? Will the ego be destroyed? We usually say in spiritual life is all about the annihilation of our ego. What does it mean? It's an enlightened ego. The ego will stop centering in this body. The center will be your God. And then your heart is going to be so big that you won't even be able to take so much love within you. And then you will be like Nachiketa in the Katha Upanishad. Hey, I'll give you this, I'll give you that. No, I don't care about any of that. Give me the nectar of eternal bliss. The nectar of immortality. That should be us. To have that conviction. There is no time. Sooner or later we have to make up our minds, start doing it, start practicing it, to live up to this. Vedanta is very simple, you know. Somebody was telling me, Swami, are you going to talk about Aparokshanubhuti? All these treatises on Vedanta, you say, not this, neti neti, not this, not that. I'm going to go beyond that. Very simple. It's all about your identity. It is to accept. You want to accept. It has to make sense. Accept you are one with the totality. In reality, the ego, it gets enlightened. What happens after that? I don't know. Some people stay there, one foot here, another foot there, like Ramakrishna. Some others, they decide to revolutionize the world and, and try to wake up. Oh, we're going to crucify you. No problem. Machitta, whose mind is in me, as the object of meditation. We talked in the first half that we can approach the Lord in two ways. Saguna Brahman, we say, we use that word, Brahman with attributes, your God. We engage our emotions. We approach that God through prayer. We trust. We decide to offer ourselves completely, because there is no other way. All surrender. You surrender your life to that principle through a name and a form. You commune. You commune with it. Constant communion. He is by your side all the time. You can talk to him, he will listen. I mean, not like it's your wife or your husband. Listen to me. You can talk, no problem. Whatever you do, he has to be by your side. Constant surrender, constant offering. You are going to become that pushpa, that flower. You are going to be the offering. Just like you offer an incense stick, or the light, or the flower. You are the offering. Now, when you make an offering, looking at him because I can see he's from India. You offering a rotten fruit? Vasastravasa? Offer the old cows. You don't want to do that. You want to offer your best. But if you are the offering, what is the offering, Swami? Your? If you are the offering, what are you going to offer? Ego. Let's see. I'll try my best. I'll try. You're going to offer your best. You're going to offer the best of yourself. you're gonna make sure that you're gonna offer your whole attention full concentration. What? All the time. Whatever you do, if you're doing the dishes, pay attention that the dishes are well done. Whatever you happen to be doing is an opportunity for you to give your best, the best of your attention. And when you do that, what's going to happen? It's an active meditation. But I thought you said that dhyana was inner activity. Yes, you can still stay active with an attitude. You do not. What happens when you do something for someone you love? You pay attention. Oh, he likes this way. I'm gonna make sure I follow the recipe. You know, you pay attention. You do it with love. Everything you do it with love. For your beloved. Everything you do with the best of your attention that is translated into love. Because when you don't care, then who benefits? Not you, definitely. But have you experienced when you do something with love and attention and you offer that to someone you love? You don't think about the time you spend. You are just, rejoicing. Huh? In our life, there is no other way. We have to live. We have to be engaged. Stay engaged. You become the offering. You have to make sure that you offer the best of your attention. You don't want to offer rotten fruits. What's going to happen to you? Well, Swami, because I'm full of desires. Of course we are full of desires. We live our lives full by all these desires. Who wants to live on the streets? All want some shelter, good food, that we are treated nicely. That's natural. We can't avoid that. But what? Well, I work hard and sometimes God doesn't listen to me. Your God, it's not a good God. I have 2 dogs. That's what happened. I see God in my dog, in our dog. Your God is not good enough. He's not answering my prayer. That's not the way it works, my friend. It's not what you want. It's what you deserve. But I'm a good person. How can I deserve this? The mystery of life. Try harder. Give more of yourself. And when you make sure that you've tried your best, then there's only one thing for you to do. Acceptance. Let go. You've tried. Accept it. In acceptance, you lead your life centering God, giving your best. What's going to be the outcome in your life? You're going to be more efficient, Prosperity will come to you. Naturally. In the form of good company, you will attract good company. Financially also. You will be more efficient. We are all smart, we all have that capacity. Problem is we get distracted. But when you are focused, you stay focused, you can do anything. Servant. And also take that approach. I am an offering. I am an instrument in your hands. I do as you make me do. I am the machine, you are the operator. Does it ring the bell? Until we make sure that our lives is an offering, we will run into many conflicts. When our life becomes an offering, you cannot deceive yourself. You have to be coherent. Meaning, you have to manifest and express that Brahman is in everything. That you are no special. You are no different. Then you will see issues. You will start seeing, we see faults in each other. Those things are natural. Because we are all struggling to go beyond our identity. Instead of seeing faults, shortcomings in others, be more compassionate. You know what's happening. We try our best. Those who live in ignorance, unfortunately, they don't know anything else. They don't know any better. So why focusing on them? If you see that in yourself. If you are unable to express compassion, work with it because it's within you. So this approach to life as an offering will give you the opportunity as you interact in the world, as you relate to one another in this world, to see your own comings, your own shortcomings, to work with your personality so that it gets more in tune with a God-like personality. That is the practice of, the yoga of life. The yoga of life, yes. Swami Vivekananda talked about the harmony, talked about one yoga, having different aspects. I call it the yoga of life. But we all have to live. But we have to get hold of God. And if you have to get hold of God, you have to become a devotee. And if you have to become a devotee, you have to engage your heart, your emotions. That's what we call Bhakti Yoga. You are going to become an offering whatever you do, you are engaged. That karta, I am doing. I am doing for you is the attitude. I'm trying my best for you. That is karma yoga. You cannot practice karma yoga without an attitude, a devotional attitude towards the highest. Karma yoga and bhakti yoga are combined. You manage to be focused and attentive and alert, you will understand that you are meditating in action because your thoughts are going to be around your God, ever present before you. When you gain that concentration, boom, then only you can be called a yogi. It's the mastery of our own self, self-mastery. Capital self-mastery. You see now religion, self-mastery. It's not about whether a Hindu or a Christian or a Jew or a Muslim. It's all about being able to commune, to tune, to connect with the ultimate reality. Until you realize, until you understand that it's been always Him. God is within you, manifest Himself through you as you. As Kenneth. God is within you and manifest through you as you. That you needs to expand. You have to allow that God to manifest fully. God is crying, craving for you to allow Him to manifest. You have to be less selfish. Is it clear? You will understand now when we say Matchitta Matparaha. Everything, my mind is to be centered in that as the ultimate reality. And then, Yumchannevam Sadatmanam Yogi Niyatamanasah Shanti Nirvana Paramam Matsamstha Madigachati. Verse number 15, next verse, chapter number 6. Thus, always keeping the mind steadfast, the yogi is subdued. With a subdued mind, attains the peace residing in me. Thus, as you meditate, thus as you focus your mind and your attention in Him, the yogi will attain the peace. Mat samstha madigachati. Shantim Nirvana Paramam attains the peace which is centered in me. Which is in the form of absorption in me. Remember the part that it was missing in our lives? Ananda. We are Sat, we are Chit. The Ananda will manifest. You will gain that peace that resides in me. That peace which culminates in Nirvana or Moksha. Game over. The moment you understand and experience that ultimate peace, nothing else can deceive you. Your mind is transformed. You see nothing but the self all around you. You are fulfilled. You don't want anything. You don't need anything. You have it all. So, there is one important word here. Keeping the mind steadfast. Sada, it says in Sanskrit. Always. Always. Not just 30 seconds, half an hour in the morning. Always. 24/7. Non-stop. Always. Do you understand the standard of your spiritual practice?
Steadfast in what is in front of us or on what?
Steadfast means committed. Yukta. Committed person. Who's made it? Always. The inner Dhyanam expresses in also external Dhyanam. And then, doesn't matter what he or she does. He experiences all the time that Shanti, Ananda. Her mind is fully transformed, soaked in God. You want that? Are you done with the world? We'll talk about this tomorrow. How to lead our lives in this world. Teachers actually showed us the way.
One question.
Yes.
Of course, we strive to make it thankful for our thought. But in this crazy, busy life, how can we make it?
You need to understand. You have to be smart. Where does my mind need to be at any moment? If my mind needs to be engaged in a specific task, and if it is focused, and it has to be concentrated, attentive, you are with yourself. You are where you have to be. You are with your God. God doesn't go anywhere. He's always with you. You can always experience Him when you are focused, attentive, concentrated. Doesn't matter the task. Whatever you are called to do, to be present. Present. This mind is not in the future, it's not in the past, it is present. It's a misconception that you cannot do both. If you are attentive, if you are focused, you are with your own being. How do you know? Does any of you have any kind of hobby or loves to do something? Could be writing, could be painting, could be sports, gardening, snowboarding, surfing. In California, that's more. People relate to that. I say yes, it's I love snowboarding. What happens when you are fully present?
Nothing else exists.
Yeah,
You're absorbed.
you're absorbed. You are in the flow. You don't know anything. You experience the joy of being present in the moment. That's it. You and your Lord are one. Now that needs to happen all the time. Homework.
What if something is in front of you that you don't like, you have to go.
Wow, you don't like, what do you mean? You have the choice and the freedom to either walk away, or if you have no other choice, to accept it. It's not what you like. I mean, it's whatever the circumstances come before you. You have choices, but you have a choice. You know that, right?
Yes.
You have the will to transform your life. No, but God is, yeah. God, all that what God wants is for you to be free. But it's your call. Am I going to do this right now or tomorrow? Tomorrow means what? Next life? I don't want to forget anything. I don't want to start again, you know. I'd rather start now, try my best and see what happens. There is no tomorrow. God is no tomorrow. God is here. It's real. Therefore, there is no time. There is only the present. And then when you embrace this, you accept the reality, as crazy as it may seem. It may seem, you know, because the world seems crazy. Killing each other, trying to cross frontier, and people happening in Texas and Ukraine and politics. Oof. That's okay. Then follow its own course. Everything that is subject to birth is subject to distraction. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do anything. But if at all you have to do anything, it's this. First, you start with yourself. Transform yourself. Transform your life. And if in doing so, you become a source of inspiration and have that leaning to become a leader, and you want to change the world, you can change it by your own example. But we have to help ourselves first. It's like when you are in flying, you know, they tell you, in case of an emergency, make sure you wear the mask. But first, make sure you wear it. Then you can help the other. Otherwise, you will run out of oxygen. Life will go. Yes.
This is sort of a combined question and comment. The state that you describe of being in the present, totally aware of the present, and only that, and just the great joy that comes with that. That happens probably for everybody. It happens for me sometimes in meditation and outside of meditation. But no matter how hard I try, it's like, let's use the example of meditation. No matter how hard I try, eventually my mind will wander. It's like I forget that I'm meditating. And then it'll come back. And it'll wander again, and it'll come back. And I notice that trying harder doesn't make it any better. Trying harder just makes me tense. And then I can beat up on myself and say, well, you're just lazy. Why can't you stay in the present all the time?
Right.
That doesn't do any good.
Right.
So what I found now that actually works is to just accept that that's what my mind does. Keep trying, but don't try too hard. And just to feel great gratitude when it comes back, to the present moment.
Yeah, there is, I think that's the reality of many. But hey, when it comes back, comes back. Neither the past nor the future. It's here now. So, Jaima, enjoy the present moment. Don't cry over the past. I lost them. The more you, as you say, I'm grateful, the more you honor your present, the more you come back to this moment.
Yes.
Yeah, it will become your second nature or your nature.
It seems like the more that you purify your mind, even if you become absorbed and you forget yourself, you're going to be absorbed in your mind.
Absolutely.
So it's like, okay.
Yeah, sure. So that, again, just like in that inner activity we call meditation, I told you before. Meditation, dhyana, involves that struggle to let the mind come back the moment you observe that you follow a thought. Come back to your object. We were doing that meditation and you heard the phone and this and that. You were supposed to come back and not be frustrated. No, it's like, why? I told you to make sure that you stay. You accept it.
So anytime we come out of the absorption and we realize that we reestablish the
That's what matters. What matters is here. What matters is here. Is what you are. Now, if you want to go a little more jnani type, a little bit more Advaiting, right? Because sometimes when we have the mind, we can indulge in that kind of practice. No? I am here. Where am I? Ask yourself, what am I? I am where my mind is. I am where my attention is. If you are here, listening, you are here. I'm here. Why am I here? Because I'm a conscious being. Because I exist. If you engage the same approach, you engage your emotions, you embrace your God, you will be delighted in sharing this moment with your beloved. Being in his presence will be just a joy. So those glitches where you lose that attention, just come back, keep coming back. Just as you do that in meditation, your inner activity, when you close your eyes and try to focus and induce yourself, try to understand your mind and guide your mind towards the same object. In the same way, when you stay active in life, because it's inevitable, you gotta stay focused. Do you agree? I hope you do. All right. Now, do you want to meditate again? Huh? So, we're going to do the same, but with a different approach. Now, we're going to practice something that is called upasana. Upasana. Meditation around the Lord, around your Ishtadevata, around your God. So, sit comfortably, make sure that your feet are on the ground, on the floor. Whenever you meditate, you have to understand that regardless of how long you can be there, sometimes you say, well, I don't know, as long as I can. But your position, your posture is important. You cannot break your posture. I'm done. Please don't be too rigid. The moment you reach the right posture, for 45 minutes, if you can, if possible.
Oh, Baba.
I'm not saying that this is going to happen. I'm just giving you, I'm going to meditate for 10 minutes. But at home, as long as you can, but if you can make it for 45 minutes without losing the posture, then you will enter like a roller coaster. You will start surfing. So sometimes if you move, you will bring back your attention to your body. I'm not telling you this, and so you don't be obsessed about this. It's just something that I'm throwing you out there. 45 minutes, manage to do that. Don't break your posture. Stay. You will go into deeper states. Now, if you have to work, you have to work. What are you gonna do? Again, an opportunity to meditate actively. Never underestimate your responsibilities in life. Never underestimate the circumstances around your life, wherever you are called for. Your job, your role as a parent, as a student, you have to be responsible. That's where you're supposed to be. It's an integration. That's how you stay at peace. Right? So in order to, we will keep our feet on the ground, or if you like to be crossed legs, I mean, whatever how you feel comfortable. We will align our earlobes with our shoulders. And here we go again. Om. Once you find the external posture, make sure you have your inner asana, internal posture. Or you make the decision to deal with your thoughts, to observe and give the proper direction to your thoughts. We have to first prepare the ground. Make sure you center your attention in your heart. That heart, light, spreading all around, covering our entire body and mind with that beautiful, soothing light. Observe your breathing. With the air going through your nostrils. As you breathe in, breathe out. For the sake of this meditation, I'm going to be using the word Shiva to represent the concept of our ideal, to represent the principles of God. We are going to surrender. We are going to offer ourselves to that Lord. When offering, We use the word Shivaya. As you breathe in and listen to the sound, the natural sound of your breathing. Repeat within you, Nama. Nama. I offer my salutation. I myself surrender to Shiva. As you exhale, you breathe out, repeat Shivaya. Nama. Shivaya. Nama. Shivaya. And make sure you open your heart and offer yourself. Surrender completely into that Lord. Namah Shivaya. The more you engage, you observe that space and rest in between. And there, store your Ishtadevata. Of your Lord. As you breathe in, breathe out, rapidly offering yourself. Namah Shivaya. The heart is a good place. The center of balance. We are going to relay with our Lord. Myself. don't engage our imagination. Just as when you dream, you engage in dream, but you do not see yourself. You see yourself as an actor in the dream. In the same way, you use that perception. You start offering flowers. Each flower carries an intention. The opportunity to start engaging in prayer, given the point to all those people who you know, who you do not know, that need to experience the outcome of this surrender. Every time your mind screens the faces of all those who are in need of peace and understanding, it's natural that you think of those who love, and including our planet, all creatures. May we all live in harmony. Pray that we all experience well-being. Stay in the present moment, in constant communion. Accept. All the challenges that would befall, all our struggles. With the happiest strength. Circumstances in life that need to be accepted. Let us be grateful. And by rooting to be may we express this love Om Shanti Shanti Om. Slowly we can come back to our body. Thank you all for this opportunity. I hope you enjoy it. I hope my goal was fulfilled. Yes, there is no time. You have to transform your lives. No other choice. Any questions?
Samrupta.
Huh?
Samrupta. Satisfied.
Satisfied. Very good.
Is there any significance to the colors, or is that just the visual cortex firing or something?
Is there any importance to the color of light or what?
In your mind, in your head.
Whatever appeals to you. Apparently there is a sign of colors. Like white is peace. Green is health and
Dark purple?
Yeah, then I don't know. I'm not really into that, but if you want to use that in your meditation,
No, I'm just saying it's already there. I'm asking, is it just the visual
Oh,
cortex or is it just not?
no, it's part of yourself. It's part of what's in your mind. Let it be light.
I didn't know if it
Let it be light.
was hallucinations or.
That's fine. Yeah. Well, sometimes you have to accept whatever comes, no, in the sense that if, sometimes when we go deep within us, we can experience things. However, experiences have nothing to do with a spiritual life. Okay? Don't think that the goal is to experience something metaphysical or some kind of life is reality. We are in the field, my friends. And everything we talked about, that's the field. Okay? Sometimes we people, experience some kind of, spiritual kind of epiphany. With yourself, maybe, that was meant to be, but still you have to work with your mind, still you have to work with your attention, still you have to go to work every day or do whatever you do until the end. So whatever gift you receive, take them, sure. Many things can happen. Know that there are many dimensions, and when the mind goes out there, you can travel but always be present. Otherwise, we'll escape the reality. Our reality is in these human bodies is to stay present. That's the way out. Never forget that. And you will come towards the end of your life. You will lie peacefully. That the promise of Sri Krishna, make sure that you think of me as your last thought. In order to have his thought as your last, you have to work throughout your life. Then it will come spontaneously to you. Okay? See you tomorrow, if
Thank you,
possible.
Swami.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Jai Shri Guru Maharaj Ji ki Jai, Jai Mahamaya ki Jai, Jai Swami Ji Maharaj Ji ki Jai, Jai Shri Guru Maharaj Ji ki Jai. Yes. Very good. So tomorrow the topic is, what is the topic? Living the life we want to live. Yeah.
It's kind of funny because we already do. It's just that vision of what it is changing.
Huh?
It's kind of like we're already manifested the life that we want to live. It's just the life we want to live changes. We have higher vision.
Sometimes we have a misconception of what life should be.